We're reaching for Twitch. Hey. Hello. I think we are recording.
Hello.
Aloha. Hello. This is the second time we are recording this because the first time I was very daft and I didn't wear my headset. Yes.
Yep.
So, no, unfortunately, the first recording was scrapped because you could hear Mr. Chaplin keys twice.
Yep.
Yeah. My throat started, as usual. So, today we're going to be talking, this is going to be technically our third podcast, and we'll be talking about cryptids. Haha, again. You see the green screen in the background, the smoky stuff? And no, it's this side, and there's my logo. Haha, I did this all. So yeah, stop giving myself a pat on the back. So how are you today then, Mr. Keys?
Not well. I
Not
don't feel too
well.
well today.
Oh
Nope.
no, you were good for the recording last time.
Yep.
Oh,
I had a spring in my step and everything. But today I feel
you feel.
Yep. Pretty much.
So we won't spend too much time then with it. So it's going to be a bit of a short one today. So we're going to just. I've got two cryptids to talk about, and Mr. Keys has got one. So
In factuality, as a bonus meme, in the background I researched a second one, which haven't done too much research into it. It's just a little short bonus meme on the end. So if
mm,
you were around for the first recording, there is at least a little bit of extra content there for you. So there you go.
very nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try the opposite today, and I'm going to do a well-known one and then a not so well-known one. So I'll kick it off with one of my drawings. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I tend to do my own kind of drawings with these, with the streams and stuff. So do you know what this is?
it is a duck, clearly.
Yeah, clearly a duck.
Yep, clearly a duck.
This, if you don't know, is the Mothman. As you can see, I've signed it on the side. And our very first cryptid comes with um, some apparent eyewitnesses. So I'm not sure how far we can throw this, but we'll see. So this, do you know where this was first sighted? This Mothman.
Mothman, West
Mm.
Virginia.
Yes, indeed. Also, the setting of our lovely, slightly tattered Fallout game.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
took ages for it to apparently get good. But I don't know if I believe people on that front because the quality of life of that game has been cut over and over again. When I played it, they kept cutting the quality of life, so
Yeah.
it became harder and harder to store like junk and gear you wanted to keep, and it it became ridiculous to like carry stuff around with you. I had to have like a max strength build guide just to play the game. Like I couldn't even like specialize or anything like that into like to be a sneaky person because I needed that strength for the carry weight. It was ridiculous, and that's why I quit. But apparently, shortly after I quit, they released the NPCs and whatnot, and actually have a story for the game.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, there wasn't a story there. It's just it was all in hollow tapes and
We'll get more into like the
reading.
gaming side on another stream, but
Yeah,
yeah. Hi.
yeah, don't
Yeah,
expect.
as you can see, I've kind of cutified the Mothman. Sorry, and that's a recent thing I've been doing over on my TikTok channel. So if anybody's interested, I'm over on TikTok, and I'm under Kaylee Taylor Art. over there, and then I've got a fair few ones, so it's going to be a long running series. So let's get back to this. So, in fact, if you didn't know already, which we've already, it was first seen in November 1966, which was also the year of our England winning the World Cup.
God knows that ain't gonna happen again.
It's kind of at the back of everyone's minds now. So it was first spotted by a couple who were, I don't know how to put this politely, but were going for a wander together in the evening or night. And apparently, all of a sudden, they saw this creature about 6 foot, maybe more, appear in front of them with red eyes. And apparently, the wingspan, it was about 10 feet across, all the way across. And yeah, I'd be horrified if I saw something like this just, suddenly appear. And apparently, when it appeared, it screeched. It was a really horrible, high pitched screech at them. And the Mothman is now known for his quite large red eyes.
I think I can sympathise with the Mothman when I also go outside and I see people. I also go as well. So
You
I
read
just
them. A good
but
defence mechanism.
normies. That's what the Mothman was like.
Well, I have a little bit of an inkling that it may be some kind of large owl, and that these may be maybe a little mistaken case of mistaken identity. But that's my personal opinion. Obviously, it's not been proven. However, many people have attributed the Mothman to um, associated it with disasters. So whether or not this Mothman was heralding, like warning people of imminent danger, it's actually been seen at several disasters, including I think it was the Silver Bridge disaster,
Yep, that was the
where
first sighting, if I remember correctly.
yeah, and it was
Right.
seen at the top of the bridge. I'm not sure if I got photographic evidence of this. I'm sure I've seen something
Uh,
somewhere anyway.
they apparently do, but it's like, yeah, just like any cryptid, it's like off in the distance and it's blurry and you can barely see it. Because apparently all cryptids have the ability to blur cameras.
Ugh,
Oh,
it's convenient ability.
yeah, it's a very convenient ability.
Are we working on
Uh,
Twitch, by the way?
oh yeah, we are.
Yeah.
I can
And
confirm
she
that.
lets her dog out just as we're recording.
Yeah, and the audio sounds fine too.
Yeah, good. So I'll carry on. What were you saying? Sorry.
Hmm? Oh, I was gonna, I was also kind of gonna make a dark-ended joke, but I decided not to.
Probably best not to. So
And
in this particular incident, it's quite somber anyway. I think about 46 people lost their right lives. But it was
yep,
also seen in Russia as well. At oh, give me a second. I can't quite remember, but it was actually it's been seen in Russia. It's been seen, so it's not just in Point Pleasant. It's actually been seen in other areas, in other countries. It is very strange. So whether it is just a singular Mothman or whether it's many, it remains to be seen. Really. Um, this was the Mothman was actually made into a book as well, called The Mothman Prophecies by John Keel. way back in 1975. So he jumped on that gravy train quite quick. And it was also made
Mm.
into a film, apparently, which I didn't know until recently.
Yes, yes. I
Mm.
remember I said that last time. It was also a
Mm.
movie.
I was quite surprised, to be honest.
Yes.
Mm.
I mean,
So,
the Mothman is a fairly popular folklore figure in in West Virginia. So,
yeah.
despite despite apparently lots of spooky things happening in Virginia, apparently, and
Well, according to like the Fallout and several other things.
yeah, yeah, the Grafton Monster,
Oh,
the
yeah.
oh, it's slipping my mind right now with the other folkloric creatures, but the only one I can think of right now is also like different types of like aliens apparently show up in West Virginia as well, kidnapping cows and stuff. People
I'm not a big believer
spending
in
homes
like the.
of
I'm stretching it with the supernatural kind of, yeah. But aliens, I'm not very confident in myself. I mean, I want to see actual evidence, proper evidence. They say they've got a lot of evidence, but it's not believable to me. There's too many. There's too many things going against it to say to give concrete answer to that. But yeah, that. Anyway, did you know that in Point Pleasant, they have an annual festival for the Mothman? And they,
Mothman
yes, and they have a rather large, rather buff statue of the Mothman sitting in the town centre.
ripped. every time he tells a prophecy, the Mothman gains another ab. Like, ugh.
Pretty much, he's got a fair few. But they go all out in at Point Pleasant. They, I've seen someone go there, and they showed us a pizza, and it was a Mothman pizza, but they used like olives for like the eyes and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's like a Marmite thing, though, really, isn't it? It's like you either like it or you don't. And
Yeah.
yeah, they actually make Mothman cookies and all that kind of stuff. So that's quite interesting. So yeah, the Mothman. So let me tell me what you think about the Mothman. Do you believe it? Don't you believe it? Are you just like on the fence? Um, or just tell me about my
I
artwork
did
if
make
you. Mm,
the comparison last time as well with the anime Death Note and how how the wingspan of the Mothman is like 10 feet, isn't it? Apparently, something like
mm,
gigantic.
according to one
And I made
source.
comparisons to Ryuk from Death Note. Like he has a fairly large wingspan as well.
Yeah, it's
So
a long
he might
time.
be a Shinigami,
Oh, and he's just migrated over to America.
maybe. You never know.
He
Uh,
kind
uh,
of went
uh,
through Russia and
Wurusha.
he
Well,
went all the way around.
the Shinigami do descend upon the. Well, they don't even need to descend a lot of the time. They just kind of stay there up in the sky, taking people's lives with the death notes and expanding
Mm,
their own life. And as I said, I'm not sure if they ever expanded upon why they do that, but a lot of the explanation in the show is basically, that they don't even know why they do it. The only thing that they know is it keeps them alive, essentially.
yeah.
A lot of the time when
Oh,
they kill people, it's because they're bored.
oh dear. So I think we compared him to some kind of, like you say, Shinigami or some kind of possible Reaper,
Mm.
mass souls basically, and whether or not that's he's got a another intention entirely. I don't think we'll ever really know.
Yes,
Yes,
exactly.
not unless this apparent thing may be captured, which it's been a long time. It's been, first sighting was in 1966, so I don't think they're really going to be anywhere near catching something like that. I
Yep.
mean, it could just be a gimmick.
I mean, exactly.
Most of
Like,
the times
what
when
you
he's seen in areas that an eagle or, a large flying being would sit. So,
mm.
mm, what
I
were you
think I
saying?
prefer. I think I prefer thinking about that picture of that meme picture of the cat, where the line is, "I don't see any god up here except for me," and it's just this cat on top of like a, I think it's like a telephone pole. He's like standing on top of it. That's what the Mothman's like. I don't see any god up here but me. And
That would be a typical cat, though, wouldn't it?
yeah.
So, I think we should move swiftly on to our next one. What do you think?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
And I
Let's
can't
go.
pronounce this one, but if you can pronounce it, I would absolutely love it. I will butcher these names, so I
Oh,
do apologise.
similarly when we get to mine as well. So
Yeah,
don't
so
worry about it.
in
Sorry to ruin
colloquial
your beautiful
terms,
language.
yeah, oh no, do apologise. You have to immerse yourselves in the languages in order to at least get a snippet of it. Um, but yes, this is known as, in colloquial terms, as a river fox. Isn't it lovely? And I can't pronounce that, so I will go to this terminology thing here. So it's nguru, which means fox, and the second part to it is fulu, which sounds kind of French to me. Fulu, fulu means
I'm
snake.
just sound a bit French.
I've kind of butchered. I think I butchered that as well. Um,
Oh, wait. I'll be back in a second.
yeah, sure, that's fine. So while Mr. Keys is away, um, I'll tell you. This is the River Fox. I've been working through a lot of cryptids, and this is one of them. And it was quite fun making this one, or drawing this one. It's so cute. You can imagine this fox type creature in the water. So I've kind of given him a few scales and some a little thin. What would you call that? If it was a constant like fin type thing down the back, I'm not sure. But if you do know, put it in the chat below or in comments on YouTube. I need to learn.
I'm back.
Hello, Mr.
Yeah.
Keys.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, you can only imagine how graceful that creature would actually move as well. Thinking about how agile foxes are and how swiftly sea serpents move.
yeah, there
Can
wouldn't
only
be
imagine how
much.
quick that.
Yeah,
Mm.
there won't be much resistance either. This one I've pictured with just the two front paws, but sometimes they'll have four paws, so two front, two back. And other times they won't be seen with these. So these were actually apparently found in Chile, or Chile, whichever way you want to,
Chile.
in the Manpuche region of Chile, if I've saying that right. So it comes from apparently comes from the ethnic region of Mapuche, and it's obviously a river dwelling creature. Now, this creature is at the very least mischievous, at the very most a little bit of a murderer. Yeah, that's
Slightly murdery.
just the extremes are just. It's temperamental. It's a very temperamental being, or cryptid or monster, whichever you want to refer to it as. And it actually, um, at its worst, it will create whirlpools if you encroach on their territory and wade into the water. it will create a whirlpool and it will drag you in and drown you. So, I mean, it
Lovely.
explains a lot of water. Water itself is temperamental.
True.
And,
Temperamental but graceful.
well, yes, indeed, yeah. I can just imagine it creating a whirlpool, just going round
Once
in a
again, as I
circle.
brought up its speed as well, so maybe it is a rather fast creature to create whirlpools by just moving in a
Mm,
circle.
yeah.
Mm.
Well, at the very least, on this, if you felt if it felt good, if you caught it on a good day, it would actually allow the waters to recede a little and would create a shallow enough pool for you to walk through. However, like I say, it's very temperamental, and this has been attributed to a fair few deaths in waters. I would say, oh, it was the river fox.
And after all, it's not the worst creature you could encounter nearby the water.
Not the worst.
After all, you have kappas, for instance, which I feel like are
Yes.
equally parts terrifying and the other part being kind of goofy all at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. I find that with a lot of creatures. They're either really menacing or they've got like a weird quirk to
Yeah, like
them.
like one of the ways that you can get away from a kappa is apparently they're really polite, considering all the horrific things that they will
Yeah.
plan to do to you. Um, is that bowing at them will they'll feel obligated to bow back and
Yeah,
to
the
uh,
bowls on their edge, yeah.
yes, which is filled with like their life water basically, and if that spills out, they'll die. So
Hmm,
so if they
makes sense.
panic if a little drop even like trickles out, they're like my water life.
I think I would as well.
Yep, definitely.
So, do you know how they get rid of, or not, well, can get rid of these river spirits? I'm
Yeah,
guessing that's a
I
no.
I remember from last time that we did this live, was that either a some kind of a sorcerer or sorceress would basically get out a knife and be like, "All right, mate, listen to me, right? You've been mean to these people. I want you to leave now, fam, or else I'll get you with this knife."
Yeah, that would, yeah, as well, yeah, essentially threaten the beast or
Yeah,
creature. They'd manage to get hold of it. I don't know how, but and they would literally have a special knife that they would hold up to the creature, and they would threaten them never to take another being or just try to get them to move on. And apparently this would work. This would be performed with the villagers, all the villagers around them as well, to bear witness and come, later they would, it would be a celebration of
yeah.
ridding the river of this creature or calming the river. So, and then it would be, you would be free to travel and cross the river, man, woman, child, in it. And this is the river fox. There's not much else I can really say about it, but it
So
does apparently
adorable.
looks like a fox, which is quite interesting. I'll find the description. It's there's some excuse me. There's some kind of diversity too, from one to the other. But I think that depends on what part of the rivers and waterways they're actually dwelling in. Mm. So I hear that you have one of your own, Mr.
Ah,
Keys.
yes. In fact, this time I have two instead of one because we got to keep that bonus meme content. And I must admit, both of these creatures are rather. The information I could gather on one of them is rather short,
Mm.
but it's rather short amount of information about the creature, but at the same time, it's a very popular yokai because I'm going to be talking about yokai, which means ghost, can mean ghost, goblin, or what else? Ghost, goblin, and something else. I think it's phantom. Yeah, that's it. Ghost, phantom, or strange apparition. That's it.
Ah,
But
so
it
like an
can also,
ethereal thing.
yes, like an ethereal thing.
Mm. So what have we got first then?
Okay, so I'm going to be talking about the Bakichiwara, which
Ooh.
is a in English means ghost whale.
And I have a surprise for you.
Oh, and what is that? Mine goats.
Hmm.
Not privy to this. Oh my god, he's oh.
It
I
was
love the guy
rushed
down
last
there.
night, so I do apologise. So I'll
I
bring
love the
myself
guy
just
down there
under.
going, "Oh my god!" Hands on his head, like.
It was like I spent a couple of hours, but it was kind of rushed. I just kind
Hmm.
of got the gist of it. But go ahead.
Right, and of course you'll have to excuse me my pronunciation of these words, for I am not a native Japanese speaker. Um, and I have not learned Japanese. I'm just a weeb. But I ain't that kind of annoying weeb where I'm always saying, you know, those key words that the weebs say. I'm
Yeah.
not going to say those words
Mm-mm.
because I will fold into myself from cringe and die. Uh, but
Yeah. Go on.
anyway, so when it comes to the naming convention of the Bakajiwara, it's very interesting because the word Baki means change, uh, to the transformation from one form into the like of a folkloric creature usually, and the k- the kajwa- the Baki Chihuahua, the Chihuahua bit, it means whale.
Mm.
And so, of course, you put that together. What's that mean? It, like in English, according to the strict translation, means change whale.
Ah.
But this whale doesn't actually change into anything. It's not. It's not like what. It's not a whale, and then suddenly it changes into like. It's not an object that changes into a whale, and it's not. It doesn't become something else. It's in fact just itself, as far as the stories are concerned. Anyway, um, so when you say Bakijiwara, it's the way it's pronounced changes its meaning, if I remember correctly, and it makes
Yeah.
it sound a bit more bizarre and a bit more scary. But so when it's translated, it just essentially means ghost whale or goblin whale.
Goblin. Oh.
Yes, goblin. Because it's relating back to the word yokai, meaning ghost, phantom, or strange apparition. That's what I got down
Interesting.
on that
Mm.
part, but don't take my word for it. As I always suggest, do your own research.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is nice for you to be here and listen to my rambles. So,
I enjoy the
uh,
rambles. This is what their stream is. It's us talking about monsters and cryptids and stuff like that.
yep. And showing some lovely artwork in the background. I still love that guy in the silhouette. Oh, every time my eyes
just
immediately
plugging my
drawn to
stuff.
it because it's funny. Um, uh, okay. So this tale comes from the western side of Japan in oh the Okino. Hmm, I can't remember how to pronounce that. Um,
We should get a Siri and get her to pronounce it.
Yeah, the Okino Island
Yeah.
in the uh, within a particular prefecture. This so as you can see, this tale comes from a very like particular place.
Yeah.
The Shaman um, prefecture. I know I definitely messed that one up.
No, no, no.
Which
You
is
do
where
fine.
the story takes place. So, what does this creature look like? So, I've mentioned it looks like a ghost whale, and you can see its depiction on the screen if you're looking right now. And it's a big skeleton of a beluga whale, essentially, that has this almost translucent like skin around it. The skin is when the story is told. Sometimes the skin is there and isn't there. Sometimes it's just just the bones of this beluga whale.
Ooh, scary.
But yeah, yes, very spooky. This just encountering this giant whale, and not only will you encounter this giant whale, you also will encounter strange fish in the water and very odd-looking birds that follow it around. Um, this particular um ghost whale, uh, it's not. It doesn't have much lore around it. It has like a single story in folklore about the creature itself. But beyond that, there doesn't really have any like too
Nothing
many
recent.
yeah, nothing recent except for the works of Mitsuki Shigeru, which writ a bunch of manga. He's a manga artist and he's also a historian, and he's best known for his Jiji no Ketsuro um, books, which um, which he has written about the Bakijiwara
Yeah.
uh, and brought it more into the original culture of Japan, like just from this one fisherman's tale. And so it's very well known thanks to this particular person's work in Japan itself. However, the Bakijiwara doesn't seem to have much fanfare in the place that I'm from, the western side of everything.
Of everything, yeah.
Yep, yes, everything.
That's it, why not. I mean, it's. We haven't hunted whales for a very long time, so I think it was back in. Goodness, the 50s, I think it was banned in the 50s in Europe.
Yeah,
I actually watched a thing
yeah,
recently about them, so.
because our need for whale oil decreased as well.
Yeah,
The Japanese still hunt whales even to this day, um,
unfortunately.
but because they like of course I feel bad for whales. I don't because their population decreased and whatnot. So I don't think we should be hunting them.
No.
However, um, it all and I can't exactly bend the will of like somebody else's culture or their country's whims for my own ideals because that would mean I would have to rule the world and one nation under me, and I ain't really gonna do that.
No, it's a bit too.
It sounds a little bit too villainous to me, because whale hunting is very entrenched, especially in this western part of Japan. Um, but before I get on with the history of the whales and what they do, let's get on with the story part. So the one story is about a group of like fishermen. They sail out from their island and they're doing some fishing with their harpoons, and they're like throwing them around, trying to catch some fish. Uh, and then they encounter a mass in the water. They see this like almost ethereal kind of glow, and it's bucketing down with rain, and there's spooky looking birds and spooky looking fish splishing around in the water. they approach this large whale-like object, so they think, "Oh, great, a whale! That'll feed us for like weeks. So let's try and kill this thing." So they throw harpoons at it, and the harpoons just kind of go through the whale, and they don't hit them. And then it just kind of floats off into the sky, and they're like, "What?" And they then see like an island that they've never seen before in the distance. And then when the rain stops and they return to shore, the that image of that island that they saw also disappears as well.
Wow.
And that's basically the story. But there are adaptations to the story where the fishermen actually have a curse laid upon them, and it brings like general like misfortune to the village,
Yeah.
and even cause like potential fires. And
Fires.
in the area where it's and when wherever the whale is spotted in that particular area, it brings these curses and these general misfortunes.
Oof.
And that's kind of just the story.
Yeah.
And it's a big spooky whale that floats away.
I wonder what that island is, how it's associated with it.
Yeah. And then you've got the, like as I mentioned, the more cultural side of things, and how whaling is obviously related to this, and how a Bakajiwara is the opposite of a real whale,
Yeah.
because a Bakajiwara brings curse and general misfortune, and as I
Oh.
said, even potential fires to the town, which is very interesting. So that means it could also be dangerous. Um,
Yeah.
a whale, a beach whale in particular, is seen as a blessing from the gods, because I forget exactly which particular gods there are. I forgot to research that bit again. I know I'm
That's
terrible.
fine.
Um, uh, but a beach whale could feed like a village for like weeks. If you were like on a brink of starvation, the entire town, and then suddenly a whale washes up, that would be a miracle, because that would be able to keep your lanterns fueled, keep your stomachs full,
Yeah.
as well as provide like skin and bones to use and all sorts of things. The Japanese, the way that they very similar to certain other cultures here, will use every part of the whale as best as they can, and any leftover parts are buried in a whale mound
Yeah.
where they give thanks to the whale, if I remember correctly. And even now, these whale mounds still exist, especially in this area of Japan. And there are these shrine gates, which people will be very familiar with if you're into Japanese culture. Uh, which are like these. Usually, they're like these big red, like circular, like pillars, and then there's like a pillar on top.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
I think I've seen them. Yeah.
Uh, they are whale uh, whale versions of these gates, which are made out of the bones of the whales, which is another point uh, of reverence that they give to the whale that they use. So,
Hmm.
whaling is still very an important cultural thing to Japan, dating back to oh, since they picked up their harpoons and first
It's
started, I
just a
guess.
long time.
A very long time.
Hmm.
And that's all I've got on the Bakajiwara.
I like that. That's quite a nice, interesting thing.
Mm.
Mm.
And so, yeah. So that is the
Hmm.
Bakajiwara. But now we're going to get on to the bonus memes. That's right.
I don't even know
Uh,
anything about this one, so.
yes, I've not even dropped this one to you. So just like how you surprised me with the Bakajiwara art, I'm going to surprise you with the next little yokai. This yokai, I like to think, is fairly popular. For the simple fact of shows like kid shows like the Yokai Watch, for example.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It appears in that show, and I've seen it in several games, and it seems to be like this very cultural kind of meme in a way
Mm.
for Japanese creators like put this creature into their game, especially if it's about yokai. It's very unique fella. It's very cute, in my opinion. Uh, and I think that's probably why it's used a lot. And that uh, it is known as the paper umbrella priest boy in English translation, but it does have several different names.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
It's how it looks is it's got a little tongue and it looks like an umbrella. It's got a big eye,
Yeah.
and usually it has one leg which it hops madly around on.
So it looks like an umbrella.
Yep,
Oh,
looks like an umbrella.
oh, is this it's part of a series, isn't it really? Essentially of the
Living
Japanese,
objects.
yeah, Japanese have got an obsession with making objects real or
Yes.
making them into monsters.
Yeah. 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 Which probably is why there's the maybe that's why the waifu nation of everything happens.
Mm,
Uh, but we do live on the internet, and the internet is a strange and wonderful place.
strange.
I think it's pronounced
Sometimes wonderful.
shikogami is the
Kurogami.
term. Yeah,
Or
this shikogami.
Shokogami.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
referring to when an object has been around, uh, existing for about I think it's about 100 years.
Oh,
It gains sentience and a soul, and that's where this creature comes from.
while it
The
feeds off the previous owner's life essence, and that's what gives it life.
No, I think it's all more
Mm.
about like how long it's existed in general. Maybe I don't know.
Well, just
And one of the pronunciations is the kakakarazo,
Mm.
as I said, which means paper umbrella priest boy. But it does have other names like the casa obaka
Yeah.
or the kasakaru obaka. However, this creature is linked to another creature which is a fairly dangerous yokai, which is I forget its name, but it basically wears an umbrella like hat, and it is fairly dangerous towards humans. It's very aggressive yokai.
I
While
don't think I
this
know.
particular yokai is a Chinese style old paper umbrella
Yeah.
with a large eye. It's got long protruding tongue, and sometimes it has one leg or two, which it hops around wildly on, as I mentioned before. Um, it's actually in nature. It's more of a like kind of a prankster sort of like spirit more than something that's actually dangerous towards you. Its
Yeah.
favorite thing to do is to sneak up on sneak up or surprise people by giving them a oily lick with its
Oh,
enormous tongue. So it ain't.
I don't like
It's more like a ha ha got ya. So now you can just imagine just mind your own business. So suddenly a big oily tongue just go
that.
licks you like what's
Oh.
that? And
No,
that's
I'd rather
and
not
that's what this
think of
thing
that.
wants to do. Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
awful.
But it like as I mentioned, it's more of like a playful kind of spirit. It doesn't mean too much harm.
You'd rather
However,
tag you.
the fascinating part about this little umbrella is that there's no actual folkloric stories about it.
Yeah.
As in, there's no like witness story, unlike the Bakajawara, like where there's a bunch of fishermen that said, "Oh man, we saw this giant spooky ghost whale." There's
Yeah.
nobody that actually says, "Oh my god, I saw a spooky umbrella tongue thing lick me." Like, but there are plenty of stories that are about that though, about people being licked by an umbrella. But there's no like eyewitness stories as far as I could come up with. So it appears a lot of the stories are made up of this creature, and it also only really exists in pictures as well. Like people have like drawn it,
Yeah,
but and it became a fairly popular figure to talk about in the Edo period of Japan, and and
I wonder what that is.
because yokais became a fairly popular social subject to talk about then, if I remember correctly.
Hmm. Do you think
And
they were
that's all
all
I've got
just
on the
sitting around a fire and just coming up with ghost stories?
pretty much. And that's essentially where this little umbrella boy comes from.
Or too much hookah.
Yes. And that's all I
Hookah.
have. There you go. I hope that
That's very interesting.
the bonus umbrella boy was worth waiting for.
Yeah, no, I could have drawn him.
Yeah, yeah. He's very cute, not gonna lie. There is many different pictures of this particular yokai,
Yeah.
ranging from kind of spooky to just downright adorable, all the way up to we made a waifu out of it.
Oh
Like,
god. Oh gosh, I don't think I'd go for that one. Really.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's not my area of thinking. Making it kind of cute is okay.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, it's kind of just adorable.
So,
Um,
so it's just a little stretch. Sorry. So we're gonna kind of leave that here then. I think that's
yes,
a yeah. It's better stream than before. Sorry
yes.
about that.
Funnily enough, I feel a lot better after talking. Weirdly enough.
That's it. Yeah, that's what you need, especially after we're still reeling from the lockdown, aren't we? Really. So
Yeah, nice to get your voice out there and talk.
yeah, it's good to talk. And that goes for you, our audience. If you need to chat, talk, or anything, just join us next time and pop it in our chat box,
Or
or
you could
join us
send me
on.
pictures of your waifus as well. I mean, I'm also
No,
very open towards that.
if you got any
Yoko, Yoko,
suggestions for
Yoko,
our next
can't speak words.
cryptids, if you got any suggestions for our next cryptids or monsters that you would like to see, please tell us. If you want to chat or talk or anything, join us next week. We're a little later this week. We're recording, and I'll put this out on a Friday, whereas we usually do on a Wednesday. So
Yes.
usually about Wednesday, around about between 12, half 12 on Twitch, and later on I will upload it at around about 4 o'clock on YouTube. So that's where you can join us next time. But we really need some suggestions because there's a fair few out there. But yeah, Mr. Keys is more of a interested in like the Japanese kind of folklore and
Because
stuff. I did try. I tried with the river fox, which was absolutely fantastic to draw and find out about. But if you've got any suggestions, like I said, just let me know, and we'll do those next time. I think our next recording, I am going to look at old Irish cryptids. So I'll have
look at
two
some of that
Irish cryptids.
Celtic stuff.
Yes, so yeah, I should say that old kelp, but it will be primarily Irish cryptids. So I'll have two for you next week, and whatever you've got, really, Mr. Keys.
Yes, I shall bring whatever I'm kind of interested in. Because, wherever it is a cute yokai or a waifu yokai, I shall continue onward.
So yeah, you'll continue. So I think again we should leave this here and join us next time. Next week, Wednesday, between 12 and half 12, we will be starting. And
Nine
thank you for
five.
joining us. again.
Yeah.
So have a
See
great
you guys
day.
later.
See you later, Mr. Keys. Good vibes to you guys. Look out for each other and have a great day.
Be careful of
Bye.
those stairs.
Yes. Bye.